Happy Thursday, everybody. Trying a few seconds over here. Whoop. Go down. There we go. Let me log in, make sure that we are live, up and running in our shares group. There we go. Thanks for joining, everybody. Okay, we're gonna have a couple of our team leaders actually join me on the call. So in a few minutes, we're gonna start because it is 3 o'clock. Let's do it. Okay, we'll come back to the music. Don't you worry. We'll party afterwards. So thanks for joining, everybody. Profit share. What's profit share? So one of the big perks that every company has to offer is share the profit with you. With you, the person who works with the company, for the company, in the company. And as you probably know, or maybe you don't know, not too many companies out there overall in any industry really offering profit share. And if they do, they have different structures and how that works. KW, when it was pretty much formed back at the late 80s by Gary Keller and Associates, one of the big things that they came up with, thanks to the ALC, our Agent Leadership Council, is share the profit of the local market center, the office, with the agents. With which agents? Agents that choose to grow the company, right? And that's been going on for, do the math, right? Over 30 years now, or about 30 years, and very, very successfully. And the cool thing about profit share, I don't remember the exact number, but I think it's over 1.6 billion, something like that, so far shared back with agents in our company. It's a pretty significant way to build a passive income for yourself, not just for right now, but for generations, right? For generations. So let me jump right into it, and I'm going to open up with a quick video that explains pretty much, I think in a pretty decent way, explains how profit share works. So give me a second. I'm going to share my screen over here. And okay, here we are over here right now. Let me just make sure that I see it on the other screen so we can see it. And okay, perfect. So let me click on the video, and I'm going to have you watch the next minute and a half or so about how profit share works. Ready? Let's do this.
When deals close, agents who haven't capped pay company dollar to the market center. The market center uses that money to pay its bills. What's left over is profit. Every real estate business is in business for profit, and usually the owners keep all of that profit. This practice makes sense. Owners invest in businesses with the hope of seeing a return. At Keller Williams Realty, we do things a little differently. We believe in growing the business together. So we split the profit between the owners who took the risk and the associates who have helped grow the market center. Roughly 52% goes to the owners who took the risk, and roughly 48% goes to the associates who helped grow the market center. So, how is it dispersed? We figure out what percentage of the market center's profit is a result of that associate, and we take that percentage of the profit share pool and disperse it through the branches of that associate's profit share tree on a monthly basis. The associate sponsor gets half, the associate sponsor's sponsor gets 10%, and so on until all of it is dispersed through 7 levels of sponsorship. At Keller Williams Realty, we believe the profit will grow exponentially when everybody has the opportunity to share in it. We believe in finding the win-win and in doing the right thing, because together, everyone will achieve more.
And you better believe it, that together, everybody will achieve more. So I want to assume that you all understood how the structure works. Right? It seems kind of maybe slightly a bit complicated, but not really. It's very straightforward. Agent sells properties. They share their commission. Okay, when they're not capped. When they're capped, you guys on 100%, there's nothing that you give to the company, which is very, very unique to Keller. Some of the companies embrace the model too, but it's very unique to Keller Williams. And this income goes to the market center. Market center cover expenses or whatever it has in operation, and people that works for you, for the services, and whatever is the net profit, almost 50% of, almost half of it, about 48%, as they mentioned, goes back to you, the agents. That's significant. All right, that's fact number one. Number two, so who's you? Who gets a piece of the action? Well, if you remember when you joined the company, you had to name a sponsor, right? A sponsor is a person that not necessarily, and that's the right definition, by the way. And you can, what you can do, by the way, you can go online and search Keller Williams profit share. Keller Williams profit share. Google search it. The first thing or the second item on the search will be a PDF document, online PDF that says, like from the white pages of KW, how the profit share works. It's a few page document that really breaks down the whole structure. You actually go into the science exactly of what is with examples. So pretty cool homework for you to do to educate yourself. And it says that sponsor is the person that, because of her or him, you chose to join the company. It doesn't necessarily mean that this person told you, hey, there's this company, Keller Williams, go and check him out. Or talk to whatever. It's the person that affected you the most to join our amazing family, right? So that's the right definition of a sponsor. You cannot change you can change your sponsor over the first 90 days once you join the company. You cannot change your sponsor after the first 90 days with the company. Or if there was whatever reason that you think that you want to change your sponsor, it has to go through local, regional, nation approval. It's very, very complicated. So, whoever is watching right now, you're part of the family. You already have your sponsors. But make sure that when you are out and about and you work to grow your profit share, or when you refer people to the company, you explain that meaning very, very clearly, right? So once again, so like, hey, team leader, Joe want to join. I'll be the sponsor. No, you have to make sure that Joe knows that you're the person, you're the reason that they want to join KW and why KW is so great for them, right? So that's the terms of sponsor. So once you did refer someone to the company, what happens then? And let's say they choose you as a sponsor, as you saw the video. Then if and when this agent closes a deal and there's a piece that goes to the market center, based on split, right? Then you get a piece of it, right? And I'm not going to go right down to the formula. You saw the video, and I'll be more than happy to show the video again if you want to watch it, or you can go to YouTube and just Google search. Go to KW, Keller Williams Realty YouTube channel, or you can, once again, YouTube search KW Profit Share. You're going to see the same videos that they have around it. Hey, Stephanie, thanks for joining. Educate yourself more about that. So as you can see also the sponsor, the direct sponsor, like, so if you join because of Stephanie or let's say Agent John, Joanne, you're an amazing agent, right? And you've been doing this for a long time, and you know a lot of agents in the business, and you truly believe that they're a great fit for excuse me, a great fit for our company, for our office. And Thomas, great question. Thomas is asking, hey, can you sponsor someone who's not in different market center? Absolutely, yes. You can sponsor, listen to this, you can sponsor every possible person around the world. It doesn't have to be in your market center. It can be anywhere in LA, anywhere in California, anywhere in the United States, anywhere outside the US. Now, listen to this. If it's someone in the US and Canada, I'm almost positive about Canada, I will have to double check, it's profit share, right? So the same concept, as you can just saw the video that I first shared with you. You know, you sponsor someone, this is a person, like when they pay something to the company, the piece of the action goes to you, 50% of the pool of the profit was, and whatever the person that you sponsored contribution was, and then the other 50% goes to the other 6 levels, right? So whoever sponsored you gets a piece. The sponsor of your sponsor gets a piece, etc., all the way up to 7 levels. You included, you're the first level. If you sponsor someone, let's say you have connections in Mexico, and you referred your buddy from Mexico City to join KW, or you have buddies in Israel, and you direct them to go to KW Israel, or in Europe, or South Africa, or Central America, or Asia, or Europe, whatever it is, right? You can be the sponsor. That's a whole different structure. That's what you call growth share. Okay, it's a growth profit. It's a bit different. It's slightly differently from the actual franchise fees. I'm not going to go into that. You can once again just Google search it, right? It's a bit more complicated, but yes, you can sponsor anybody as long as they join Keller Williams, right? So if you know, Joanne, that this is I would love to have John part of my office, right? Because it's an office just down the street, or doesn't even matter today. We all work virtually. It can be, this person can be anywhere, and they're a good fit for us too. It's got to be a win-win, because we don't take anybody to join our companies. We have the right to be picky in a good way because we want to help people, right? So once you decide this person, so reach out to the person and have a just honest conversation about, hey, you check on the person, of course, right? But ask, how are you doing really in your business? What are you lacking? What doesn't work for you? Why what are you happy the most or satisfied with the company that you're with right now? And what doesn't work? What are you missing? And based on what you're gonna hear, then you can have the discussion about, I really believe that if that's the case, that KW is a perfect fit for you, and let me tell you why, right? Once again, depends on the scenario. You're more than welcome to have them join some of our trainings. Unfortunately, this is right now, broadcast is private on KW Shares. It's only for our members, but we do record the classes, and we do have other classes that are more open. Yes, we can invite them right now, even to this one through the Blue Jeans. My point is, spread the word of how great you are, how great our office is, or whatever office in our group is, in our 4-living group, and how great our company is. And by the way, there's one beautiful piece that we are right now in the works on to prepare for you, to share with you guys our value proposition, how amazing our group is, and what kind of things we have as a 4-living group in our offices, and how amazing KW is, because there's tons of resources that most of you are not even aware of. So you can, first of all, know what you have, but also share the love with other people, right? Because I can tell you for a fact, mostly the last few months been very interesting months for all of us, some more than others, but what I've seen that there's also a lot of opportunity. And I've seen that there's a lot of individuals out there, a lot of professionals like us, that they're lacking the attention and they're lacking the support. And I'm telling you, there's so much that we give, and so much more that we can give. So why not you to be that the person that will sponsor those amazing people out there that will really benefit from what we do and who we are, right? So I want to share with you a couple of things, but hold on, let me see for a second. Question: how about if a sponsor already left the company? Well, if they left the company, if they were 3 years, I'm going to break it into two pieces right now. If they've been with KW more than 3 years, they're vested for life. Okay, they're going to be your sponsor forever, and they're going to enjoy profit share as long as you making money and whoever you sponsored is making money, and or sell, and etc., right? So, which is fine because you mean that you are making money and you're successful. Now, as of last year, I don't remember exactly to what month, so you have to excuse me, or maybe it was this year, the beginning of this year. So I will have to check and get back to you guys. The national ALC, right, or international ALC, IALC, voted and approved to the company that you have to be 5 years vested with the company in order to be part of the profit share, right? So if anybody joined, I guess sometimes this year, you have to be 5 years or more to be vested. Now, don't be confused. If you join the company today, and in a week you sponsored someone, and this someone closed the deal, in the following month, and of course there was a profit to the company, the office, etc. The following month, you're gonna get a check. Well, it's actually direct deposit, but it's gonna happen right away. It's every the 21st or 22nd of the month, you get a deposit to your bank account. The following month, right, of the person's production. So that's immediate. When I say vested, it means the right to keep that profit share as a passive income for the rest of your life. Okay, so good question. Another question is, okay, I answered that question already. Is there an agent recruiting campaign that can be created? Great question. So yes, there's a lot of campaigns out there, and I will have to. I mean, E-Edge had decent campaigns, and they're right now working to create new campaigns on command with our new platform. My best recommendation is really, as I mentioned, Thomas, is to really have those discussions, is to really, have a conversation and ask, how are you doing? What's working for you? What's not working for you? And then I would love to put you in touch with my team leader, right? And to have this even like three-way conversation. If people reach out to me and say, hey, can I have such and such? Can we have a meeting together? I'm like, absolutely. At the end of the day, it's a win-win. You help to grow the company. You enjoy profit share. We benefit from another amazing person like yourself join our company, right? That's why very smartly Gary and the guys back then said, like, you know what? Let's share the profit. It's okay. So it all makes sense. One thing I want to show you is a real example of there it is. First of all, Stephanie, can you see my PDF screen? Yeah, cool. So this is a example of a real office, and this is since it was kind of launched or what have you. I'm not sure if you can see. I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit over here. 1 second. Okay, yeah, here it is. So as you can see, like we are an open books company. So you can go to the MCA and ask, hey, what was my profit share here, there, whatever, or see trends, and if you really want to be educated about that. As you can see, this market center every year shared, X amount of profit, right? It's changed based on whatever year. But if you can see at the very bottom, and of course this is still year to date, 2020, COVID year, right? Less profit to begin with. But if you can see, this market center probably going to end this year with the summary so far since it was open, sharing $1 million back with its people. Think about it for a second, right? In this lifetime of this operation not even about if you're gonna drop the first couple of years, I guess, of launch, 15, 16 years or so, 1 million back to its employees, its members, not really employees, right? You guys are not employees of the company. That's incredible. So that's one thing. Secondly, go to lifetime earners. Okay, that's just kind of like a general overview about how many earners or the distribution. So if you look at our company, KW, this is internationally. About 81, just over 81,000 people in the company, right? Earn in average about up to $500, right? About $500, and up to $500. Almost 67,000 earning up to $1,000, right? And about 33,000 up to $5,000. And I want to say that this is for sure, this is annually, so every year, right? And I said 21,000, 10,000, almost 4,600 people, just under 50,000, up to $50,000 every year, just over 2,000, $100,000. It's a very small portion, 245 people, just under $500,000 profit share, passive income, and just under 100 people, about $1 million. Passive income, didn't do anything for it, don't do anything for it on a regular basis besides, once again, influencing and bringing people to the company. And of course, if you look at the top earners, those guys, the majority, they're either full-time on recruiting, recruiters, or some of those guys are the funders of the company. They started 30 years back and what have you, and they built those massive branches of profit share tree. But it just shows you, if you start today, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, I think it's going to be in this one of those high brackets over here. And what's wrong with 10,000 or 50,000 or more income every year, passive income? Right? That's how you build profit share. If some of you earns passive income from, let's say, property that you own, do the math. I mean, I don't know what it is, but let's say you get an average, whatever, net profit. By the way, I'm talking about after all the expenses and whatever that you had, $500 a month. Okay, so you make $6K a year profit. $1,000 a month, you make 12,000, right? So think about this as building a profit that is in a sense of owning another real estate income property, right? But here's the cool thing, and listen to this, because this is one of the beautiful things about this company that I really appreciate, because that's back to culture. The successful sponsors. And once again, you're a sponsor if you influence someone to join and help someone to join the company. But here's the next level sponsors. Okay? The next level sponsors are those that check in on their people. So some of those guys, what they do on a monthly basis, some of them every month, some of them quarterly, they gather all the people that they sponsored. And even their sponsors, the people that their sponsors sponsored, right? And they do just a check-in, like a coaching moment or whatever moment, and just say, hey, how can I help you? And have a meeting and checking in and what have you, and helping them to keep growing their business or stay on track and whatever, help with resources, whatever it is, maybe referrals, depends on the market that they're in, etc. Think about it. Because what you do, you keep just, watering I have some visual effects over here. You keep watering the plant or the seeds that you put out there, and you keep nourishing the people that you promise them. Think about it for a second. You promise someone to say, this is the place for you to grow and to prosper, and then what? And I truly believe that this is the right way to go, because you're really building a legacy. You're building a significant legacy. So practicing it is very different than just talking about it. Few more questions. Christine, do we ever get to see the amounts that our higher ups made from our deals? Christine, great question. I want to say yes, because KW is an open books company. I will have to check and get back to you. I know that out there somewhere there is some kind of report that shows you as a sponsor how much you got from your people that you sponsored, etc. But I haven't seen it, but I know there's something like that. So I just have to check. And let me see if any other questions. No. Stephanie, anything you want to add?
Not really, but I think it's just something that a lot of times we forget about, that's another, potential revenue stream, right? Like you said, the passive income, and really, we just get rewarded by bringing in people that we want to do business with, right? That we think is a good fit with our culture. And Keller Williams has just been magnificent at providing another tool to reward the agents for bringing in, like-minded people that are a good fit.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, and I will check Christine. It's a great question, and transparency is a key, but also it's just a matter of you understanding how it works. Because look, if you don't know how something works, then you wouldn't care about it, right? Or you will ignore it, or ignore it, or be ignorant about it. Is the same thing, right? It doesn't come from a negative place. It comes from a place of just lack of knowing. So it's good to understand, because it's going to give us some, once again, incentive to do it. And it's not for you for you guys to become recruiters. It's not about that. Your job is not to recruit. Your job is to grow your business. Growing your business is to build passive income, right? So let the recruiter, aka team leader, etc., help you to grow your business. But you still have to be understanding what it is and passionate about it and sincere about your intentions, not just I want to have people on my profit share tree and whatever. No, make sure to bring people amazing as you to join the company, so we can help them to grow their businesses. And once again, it's a win-win. So I think that's the gist of it. I didn't want to go too complicated on you guys with formulas, etc. I do encourage you once again to go to. Let me actually show you. I'm going to show how I do it, so you know that I'm not just making this up. New tab over here. So I guess you can see my screen. So if you're going to look at Keller, Williams profit share, Google search, you see, first of all, at the YouTube at the top, the video that I showed you, it's going to show a lot of other, pieces, like how it's calculated and what it is and whatever. But then you're also going to see over here, you see the second one, the second tab is profit share white paper. It's a PDF file. Click on it. It's going to open those 8 pages of how profit share works. The history, 86, with the LC guys and getting the LC and everything. And it's going to break down all the steps. It's going to give you actual examples, like a real example of numbers, how it works. And then it's going to give you a breakdown of all those levels, okay, to the math. Look at that. Exactly. So it's going to, you'll really understand how the math works behind it, right? Don't get caught too much, because you can never predict how much you're going to get. Never, ever, ever. Everything, you know exactly how much your person who's sponsored sold in the commission, or how much you sold for and what your sponsor is going to get. You cannot. Why? Because it goes. It goes back to how much the market center earned that month commission-wise. And there is all the expenses, etc. So once again, be cautious from assuming, I'm going to get 50% from the person that sponsors commission. It doesn't work like that. Okay, and that works for some other companies out there. That's what they do, and I think it's kind of harsh on the individual. That's just maybe too greedy a little bit. So we have a more of a softer model because you have to satisfy. You have to make sure that people that actually sell, they're getting the most benefit. But profit share in KW is more of a long-term strategy, more in depth and broad as well. The bottom line is not just let's just make a quick cash from the people. No, it's not. That's different, companies. It's more about build a culture of people around people. I want to bring people that I want to be in business with, and I want to help them grow their business. And by doing that, it's a win-win. So, question: what happens if an agent left KW and you sponsor them? If you sponsor them and they left KW, they're going bye-bye. They're just going to vanish from your tree because they're not part of the system anymore, right? Now, if they sponsored someone, okay, if they sponsored someone and this someone still in KW, two things can happen. Number one, the someone that you sponsored, okay, if they're still in the system, meaning there's an annual fee, it's like a nothing fee that the individual pay to keep the right to earn profit share. If they're still in the system because they're getting profit share, then they get the profit share from wherever they sponsored, and you get the profit share through them. If this person was not vested, let's say you sponsored someone and they left within 3 years or 5 years today, right? They're not vested. Automatically, whoever they sponsored, you becoming their sponsor. I know it's a bit complicated, so if you don't have one of those, use it and go back and look at the replay. So it took me a few years to figure out. And another question that Daniel was asking over here, Daniel, if someone sponsored you, they left the company, you ideally will jump to and once again, they were not vested, you're going to jump to be sponsored by whoever sponsored your sponsor. If your sponsor was vested, even if they left the company, they're still in the system. But, Daniel and friends, we can check it out for you. So if you're not sure, email your MCA and ask, MCA, right? Who's my sponsor? So if your sponsor is vested, they're still going to be your sponsor. You cannot change it, right? So that's pretty much the spiel. Is it taxable? Is profit share taxable? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. You're going to get through KW International directly because the market centers don't have any way. We don't do anything to manipulate, change, move, maneuver, anything. You're going to get the deposit directly from them. So make sure when you join or when you joined, or if you're not sure, email the MCA, right? That's how I play the piano. Email the MCA and ask him, hey, just want to make sure that my bank account direct deposit for the profit share is up to date. They don't give checks anymore. It used to be checks. We don't do it anymore. So you have to do that. And then what you're going to see that every year you're going to get 1099 from KW International. Back to the point of why we teach business, that you want to be structured also, and I'm not a tax advisor, not CPA, I don't want to be a CPA ever, but you need to educate yourself about why you want to be structured properly as a corporation, LLC, S Corp, etc. So this 1099 is going to be taxed to your corporation. Why? Ask your CPA. And blah, 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 da, 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 da. I don't see any other questions over here. So, Holly, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to have you. So, any thoughts about profit share?
No, besides, I think this is the perfect time to build your profit share, right? Agents are looking for a change. They're looking for companies just like ours that have really adapted to the virtual, the virtual worlds that we're still educating. And, I don't know how much was already said, but I feel like as agents, we lead by example with our success. And so make sure you're sharing that with your sphere. When you're meeting other agents, share your success, and if you feel welcome and you appreciate your leaders, share that with them, because not everyone's offering the things that we're offering here. If you've only been to our offices here at any of them, you don't always know what's out there. And sometimes as team leaders, when we're recruiting, we hear certain things that go on in other offices, and quite honestly, I'm fairly shocked, whether it's poor commission or not, they don't have a good education calendar, they're paying exorbitant fees monthly. So just always make sure that you're putting that out there in the universe, and you're going to draw people, right? Being a leader and being the mayor of your own business, you're all CEOs, right? And doing that and putting that out there into the community is going to draw other like-minded people to us, and is ultimately going to start building you this wealth that's just going to come naturally, right? You don't have to go and make a cold call or knock on a door or go through the rigmarole of selling a property. This literally is passive income for you. So start building this wealth now. Start building it.
Thanks, Holly. Yeah, and another question over here is about the cost of fees. No, if someone left the company, they don't pay monthly fees by any means. And what I mentioned was that there is an annual fee, which is like nothing. I don't know the cost. I have to check with the MCA again, but I'm talking about, I don't know, $20-$30, maybe a little bit more. I'm not sure. Just to pay into the profit share, to have the right to stay in the system, right? Because they do have admin costs in KW International to run the whole systems and everything. But it's nothing if you're actually making earnings from it. It's well worth it, right? And look, think about it. People move all the time. People, you guys, right? Brand new agents, you chose to join KW, right? If you used to be producing from different companies, then you choose, hey, I choose to bring my business to KW. So same thing like on the other way. People that choose to move their business from KW to different companies, and let's say they're vested, meaning they're actually earning profit share. There was a big discussion about that, and people say like, hey, let's whoever leaves, let's eliminate and let's remove and everything. And once again, that is big voting. This big voting. I want to say it was the mega camp last year, but I have all my dates confused recently, so I'm not sure if it was in February of this year or August in family reunion or August of last year, but they did vote. The ILC, right, voted that we're not gonna take away the right from people that used to be in our company and helped to build the company, to take profit share from them. If they chose to go to different company, it's because at this specific time they saw value somewhere else. It's okay, right? Because it can vary by market centers or by different conditions, or maybe people move to a different area, different territory, and who knows? But every person has their own reason, and it's okay, right? They still getting profit share from us. We, the owners, we give half of what we earn and give to those guys that they're with company XYZ. Think how powerful that is. By the way, you know who's doing it? Nobody. Right? So it also just shows the integrity of us as people and the strength of us as a company. We're going nowhere, and we're building something that is massive for generations to come. Mm-hmm. If you choose to be with us, great. If you think that you have better value somewhere else, good for you. I do think, by the way, that if whoever's watching this, if you think that there's something shiny out there, it's because it's shiny. What's behind it, it's worth questioning and searching. And you should do that research and understand what it is. And if you do think that there's something more valuable out there, come to us and say, hey, I saw this really, really cool golden jacket. I really want to have this kind of a jacket. How can we have it? And we can have a discussion about it and see if this gold jacket will really gonna add value to your life. And guess what? If it will, it's most likely gonna add value to other people in our community, right? Of greater agents. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. We're all entrepreneurs. So, and by the way, the golden jacket, I'm not picking on anybody.
Well, I was gonna say, I want a gold jacket. Can we red jacket, red sparkle jacket? Maybe. I think that might help my production. I've heard.
Yeah, we only have cool T-shirts for now. I'm sorry, it's only cool T-shirts, right? No, but seriously, guys, think about it, right? You know, and it's go back to profit share. It's go back to share overall, right? Sharing mentality, it's culturally. You either have it or you just didn't learn how to. Mm-hmm. You know, like I think like most things in life, it's you can learn. It's a skill. It's a mindset. You have to, once again, like when you ignore something, you're ignorant about it, right? If you choose to educate yourself and be curious about this and about that, and then you can have a better options that you can choose from or base your decision upon. So what I'm asking you, and that backs to Thomas, you had great questions over here. The best way to, you know, build that passive income or profit share or AKA recruit, if you may, right, in just different lingo, is really just educate people about options. So you guys need to educate yourself first, what we have and why we have, etc., and then take it from there. Just share the story and the success, like Stephanie, you mentioned, Holly, you mentioned as well. Share the success, and you know, bring those guys to our office, if not comfortably right now physically. Bring them to our virtual world. We have tons of it right now, all our trainings, etc.
Yeah. I think all of our offices, Meny, have recruited people 100% virtually, right? Like I have agents now who've joined our office that I think are going to be phenomenal and have great careers that I've never met in person because they just don't feel comfortable right now leaving their home. So, you know, we met virtually. We went through our value proposition. You know, they even met with our MCA or with our agent services. So, you know, don't think that this is the time to pull back on that type of profit share building.
Yeah. So once again, about the profit share, focus on the word share. Mm-hmm. It's all about sharing. There's a great book. Maybe it's somewhere behind you, Stephanie, in the library over there. It's called Give and Take by Adam Grant. You can Google search it. I'm not sure if I'm spelling it properly. It's called Give and Take by Adam Grant. Read the book, get this book. Oh, you look, bam, there we go. Give and Take by Adam Grant. It's talking about this sharing mentality, right? But also about the difference between, you know, givers and takers, and those who survive or thrives the most, not survive, thrives the most. I'm not going to tell you the ending of the story, but read the book because the philosophy there just makes a lot of sense. But once again, back to how we function, our communities, in our offices, the forward living concept is about sharing. It's like, how can I share? How can I give? How can I invest? Right? Because think about it. You always want to look at the ROI, but not in a selfish way, in a growth way, in a growth mindset, right? That's why I said, like, to invest. Mm-hmm. Be with the mindset of the investor, because investor is not like, it's like just one-time thing, you move on. Is you want to groom, you want to build, you want to grow something, right? So I think that's just the right attitude. And Christine Wheeler, you rocks. Okay, she said KW rocks. You rock. So that's all we had today to share pretty much about profit share.
Yeah, and Meny, I don't know if you guys talked about this earlier, so
We
I
did.
apologize if I'm repeating. Well, I'm going to say it anyways, because if you did, it deems repeating. The thing is that this is so important to us because not only do we build on a referral network in our own businesses, but we do obviously through the offices. So we just don't hire everybody. Right? We just don't take anybody off the street that walks in because we want to make sure that you fit in with the culture, that you're going to have a mindset for success and for building. So when you guys come to us with a referral and you say, hey, I talked to this agent, blah, 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 they want to talk to you, give them a call. It's basically giving your recommendation. And since we work with you, like, for example, Christine, I've gotten to know your work ethic, even just through Zoom or, through Joan. But if you came to me with a name, I would say, okay, this is a good person bringing me another good person. Right. So we appreciate it as the market center because it's kind of giving your little seal of approval. Right. Right.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind that you're not just building your profit share, but you're helping us so much as an office to get good quality agents in here,
Yeah. Awesome share for sure. And thank you for putting in like another spin on it for sure. Yeah, it's just what it is. We want to build a community of successful individuals and just be live up to our potential.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier when you have people that are like-minded around you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
thank you for that.
Of course.
Yeah, well, anyways, guys, I hope that you learned something a bit more about profit share and about the sharing mindset. And go online and do some research. As I mentioned to you, there's a lot of good information out there between the YouTube and the file I shared as well. And be successful. And yeah, please just feel free to reach out to us or whoever is your team leader in your office, or if you want to refer someone to a different area, find out either through your team leader or whoever the TL that you know in that specific area, and build those relationships and say, hey, I have someone in your area, whatever. Would love for them to join your office, and I would love to be their sponsor. And the team leader should, once again, like we mentioned, should give you guidance like, well, okay, how well do you know this person? Do you have a discussion, whatever? Because once again, we want to assure that you're going to be the sponsor of this individual. And remember, a sponsor is the person who affected the most about to join KW. Mm-hmm. So if you just say like, hey, call this person, and you don't even know the person, why this person should join you as a sponsor? So it's also encouraging to build a relationship and help people grow. Mm-hmm. So with that, thanks everybody. I appreciate you. Holly, Stephanie, thanks as always for being there. And
thank you. I can't wait to go watch the replay.
Yes. And as a quick reminder, tomorrow, Friday, we have good stuff. And also at 5 p.m., we have our second virtual escape room. I'm going to run it as actually a special one. It's going to be whoever's going to show up is going to be a whole team, but just broken down to small segments. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here, and talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.